All right, Leftovers
All
at
right.
Midnight, episode. What are we on?
24?
24?
Episode 69.
Nice.
We're
Nice.
talking about guns. What's up?
Yeah, we're talking about how where we live, which we're not going to tell you. um, for the most part, most places that sell like guns as like hunting guns, you can basically just walk in and buy a hunting gun
Yeah.
and leave with it that same day. Um, Apparently, Walmart has a 3-day waiting period, no matter who you are or what kind of license you have. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like as far as I know, and this is not something I'm an expert on. For the most part, most of the things that I talk about, I'm not an expert on. But as far as I know, like there is not a limit, but like the type of weapons you can buy in places like that are generally going to be something you couldn't necessarily do a whole lot of damage to a bunch of people with. Like Alex had mentioned that you used to be able to buy like a 308 at Walmart, which apparently I didn't know this. You can get a semi-automatic version of, but for the most part, it's going to be like small caliber shotguns or rifles and shotguns.
You take a 12 gauge and fill it with buckshot. That's gonna do a lot of damage.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. I'm speaking specifically in the realm of a mass shooting.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like I don't know, and again, I don't know exactly what guns you can buy at Walmart, but as far as I know, it's like mostly going to be something that technically you couldn't you couldn't buy a gun at Walmart, go to your car to put ammo in it, and then walk back inside and shoot up the Walmart. Like before somebody, you may be able to hurt a person or a couple of people, maybe before you were kind of either taken down by somebody who has their CCW or the security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, Walmart really only sells if I don't even know if they still sell guns anymore. I think they changed after that one Walmart shooting.
I think.
I know they stopped selling ammo
Which
for the
is
most part.
fair, in my opinion.
Yeah, I walked into Walmart one day and said, I want to buy a shotgun. And within 10 minutes, I had one out the door.
That's
Didn't even
so
have to
wild.
wait.
Yeah.
It's stupid, is what it is. It's fucking. They don't know me. I passed my background check, but I got to walk out immediately with a shotgun. The only thing that had to be done was a manager had to walk me out.
Yep.
And had
Yeah, I
to
mean,
put
I
it
know
If
back.
plenty of
I
people. I know plenty of people that would pass a background check that I would not want to own a
Oh,
gun.
absolutely.
That I would be uncomfortable knowing that they owned a gun. Um,
Yeah, you got fucking Louis C.K. over here.
yeah, he definitely won't pass a background check. Um, but it's kind of like the other day. I was we were talking about this tiki bar nearby that has a no smoking policy, and we were all like, I was at work, and we were all like, wait, why would a tiki bar have a no smoking policy? And then we realized it's because the whole thing is made of like wood and straw, and like if somebody lit a cigarette or flicked a cigarette but the wrong direction, you could literally light the whole place on fire. Just like,
Yo, that'd be funny. It's like
oh,
alcohol
dude,
and
it was just
nicotine
it
go
was
hand in hand.
hilarious when we all like simultaneously had that epiphany. Like, oh yeah, because if you smoke there, it's probably just gonna ruin everything.
Yeah, you're gonna go to jail for like arson and probably murder. And all you did was
uh,
try and get your nicotine fix. That's why you should start vaping. You know?
I'm trying to quit vaping, dude. I'm this close. I would say a good 70% of my day today without vaping at all.
It's more than me.
And it sucks. It sucks so bad. Like I've started leaving the house now without one so that I can't use it while I'm like at work or just driving around or whatever. And I still like probably at least every 2 minutes like reach for it or like tap my pockets like wondering where it is. It sucks. I would say like the amount that I vaped was more than I ever smoked, and I think that I would have had an easier time if I didn't stay vaping as long as I did, you know, because like I vape so much that it's like literally every 30 seconds to a minute I'm like,
Yeah. Nicotine's fun. I like
we're getting
it.
there.
I'm glad that's what I'm addicted to.
Yeah, there's a lot worse things you could be addicted to.
Oh, we
But
lost
yeah,
Tommy. Oh,
what's
he's
that?
back. We lost you for a second.
Oh,
At least I
where
did.
did you lose me?
Just I don't know, honestly. You just froze and you froze again. Is it frozen for you too,
Or
Alex?
yeah,
Okay,
or
maybe it's
he's
not on my end.
practiced the art of standing so incredibly still that he
Yeah.
becomes naked to the invisible eye.
Yes, that's me.
You have to stop breathing as well, so it looks more realistic when you do it. Quick, hold your breath.
Oh, he blinked.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. He's alive.
So one cool thing that happened today is that Joe Biden, he signed in a bill into law that denotes it's the Anti-Asian American hate crime bill. I think I have that right. And basically, what it says is like between March of last year and March of this year, there were over 6,000 crimes committed against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, and basically with the rationale of blaming them for the coronavirus pandemic because of some stuff that Donald Trump put out during his campaign speeches and during his reactions to pandemic things like Kung Flu and the China virus. So basically, crimes committed against Asian Americans during that time, under that context, are now classified as hate crimes, the same way that a crime committed as part of the neo-Nazi Brotherhood or something along similar lines those are prosecuted the same way, which is good. Like they should be. They absolutely should be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just like
Yeah.
how do you I don't get it. Like I don't understand one, like how an entire generation
And we lost him.
We lost him.
means what?
We lost you again, Tommy.
Damn.
How an
Damn.
entire generation.
How not an entire generation, but a good chunk of our parents' generation is so blindly able to just like, yeah, what that guy says makes sense. I'm willing to commit crimes for that reason.
I feel like
You
it's
know?
the ignorance of that old mindset they have.
Either that or it's a matter of like that hatred was just there in the first place and now somebody said it's okay for them to express it. That's what it was.
That's pretty much it.
The people who supported Donald Trump for his policies, who genuinely, in my opinion, who genuinely believed that what he was running on was what was good for our country and what was good for them, are not the people that scared me ever. I mean, I didn't agree with them, but they're not the people that I was worried about.
No.
The people I was worried about were the ones that supported Donald Trump because they saw what the liberal media portrayed him as. You know what I mean? Because there's bias on both sides, but like the liberal media definitely demonized Donald Trump a lot more than conservative media did. And the people who saw Donald Trump being demonized and said, that guy, I want that guy in office, those are the people who scared me.
Yeah.
Yep.
A bunch of good old boys and good old girls thinking, oh, this guy, he's blaming Chinese people for this. Well, I always knew they were up to no good coming in
Yeah,
in
exactly.
our country,
Same
and
people
then
I
they have a
hate.
reason. Yeah, right. They
And
took
it's-
Donald Trump as their sole redneck grand wizard, basically. Is what I
hillbilly
consider him.
messiah.
I consider him like a grand wizard of the fucking KKK or whatever they're called, the Grand Dragon, whatever he's called. He is the most ignorant, racist, stuck-up, stubborn, pretentious cocksucker I've ever heard of and I've ever met. And if you think about it, back 5-6 years ago, People love Donald Trump. Oh, this guy's hilarious. This guy's funny. They're rapping about him in songs. He's making a bunch of jokes about himself on SNL and this and that. And then his true colors came out about he's a fucking bigot and all this other shit. And now everybody that liked him hates him. It's like you
It's a good
realize
point.
this man is a fucking billionaire X times over. You really think he's a good person? I mean, all the accusations he's had against him before he was president, you think he's a good person? Like that whole grab him by the pussy stuff, that ain't new. That just so happened to get circulated more while he was in office or running for office, one of the two. People still fucking voted for him after all this crazy shit came out about him.
Well,
because
that, and then people saw that story
build a
and just
wall.
were like, "Fuck yeah, grab him by the pussy!" Like that. That was something people were like, "Yes, yes, more of this. This is what we want as our president. Someone who really speaks his mind."
The only thing I got joy out of having him as president was the entertainment value. I could turn on the news and see fucking Donald Trump makes 50,000 Mexicans build his wall or something like that. I'm like, oh, of course he does. You know, I could see fucking just all these outlandish stories that don't sound real. That I'm like, wow, this is a reality we're living in. This is kind of entertaining. I want to see how this goes down.
It's the whole thing is ridiculous just in general. Like, we cast a reality TV star who makes bad money decisions as a president.
Yep.
And it went about exactly as you would expect it to go. Like reality TV.
You know why we did that? Because he was going to build a wall.
Yeah.
He was going to
That's
keep
what it was.
You know,
big old scary wall. Guys, I'm going to be right back really quick. I need to take care of something.
I can respect Donald Trump for speaking his mind, because it takes I hate me if you want. It takes a lot of balls to stand up there in front of an entire nation and say, "This is what I want to do. Fuck you, I'm right." You know, I can respect the fact that he's not catering to you know, the majority, which he should have been, but he stuck to what he thought was best. He was wrong, but he stuck to what he thought was best. And it's like, you know, I mean, that's your pride and ego getting in the way, but you know, good for you, dude. Now go do it somewhere else. Controversial take. Don't fucking care though.
Yep. It's oh man. I think he put out like a fucking 900 plus word document on Twitter or something about the Justice Department in New York trying to go after him for crimes recently.
It had to have been when he was president. Because he's banned off Twitter.
Or no, I think he just posted it on his website.
Oh, okay. You
it
sure
was
it wasn't Parler?
Today or yesterday. Didn't Parler get shut down too?
I hope so, dude. They made you give them your social security number and a picture of your photo to sign up for that. Like, what the fuck?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and boomers are worried about TikTok.
And then it got leaked. They had like a database leak.
Holy shit. Yeah, boomers are worried about TikTok, and then they're willing to go talk about white supremacy on Parler.
Yeah, they won't give you any of their information when signing up at a Radio Shack or whatever the fuck they got to do. I don't want the government tracking me. Okay, I'm gonna go on Parler now and bitch about fucking all these illegals in my country and all this. It's ignorant, dude. I fucking hate politics so much. Like, you could be such good friends with someone, find out they're a Trump supporter, and then it's like, there's a reason to hate them. You know? Sad.
Wow, he's just posting about how Republicans are weak and stuff today. That's what he's... Yeah.
My car key broke. What the fuck? Okay. That's fun.
Oh. Are you sure it's broken and not like a battery compartment?
No, it's the casing came off. I gotta get a new one. Damn, that sucks.
That's okay. I'll 3D print you one.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I don't know if I can actually do that.
Probably can. I think I need to get a new key fob.
Um,
That shouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
I'll fork over whatever I need to. Fucking hate cars so much. My check engine light's on again.
So
Yeah.
this week I did like a deep dive on. Are you guys familiar with this new concept, sweeping the nation? It's not new, really, but Delta 8 THC.
Mhm.
I am slightly familiar with this topic of Delta 8 THC that you speak of, Mr. Tommy. Yes, I am.
So
What is
well,
that?
and so a lot of places. So if you don't know, um, this is something that has like gotten super popular in the last 2 years, and
It's basically
basically
legal
it's
weed.
yeah, it's basically legal weed. It is a form of THC that is legal to buy without a medical card and is significantly milder than maybe what you might find in a dispensary. But like it is psychoactive, it will get you high. And I've been doing some digging on Delta 8 THC and like how it's extracted and where it comes from and the legality on it. And it's crazy to me that places like I believe it's Colorado has already banned it. Like a fully recreational state has completely banned Delta 8 THC. And there's already like within the last 6 months, I'd say there are like 14 states that have just completely banned it just because I don't know if it's a matter of like protecting the interests of the dispensaries or if they just really don't want people to get high without having bought it from a dispensary.
Welcome to Colorado. You can buy weed legally, you can buy mushrooms legally, but you can't buy Delta 8.
Yeah, welcome to Texas. You can buy Coke and you can buy beer, but you can't buy Diet Coke.
And you can carry a sword out in public.
I think you could do that anywhere.
Really? I thought it was special for Texas.
No,
can
I
do
mean,
it here.
Open carrying
as
a
long as
sword?
you don't conceal, like in Florida, I think as long as you don't conceal a blade longer than 4 inches, like
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's unless you have a concealed weapons license.
right, yeah.
Then you can. I could legally conceal a
You
katana
could
if
legally
I wanted.
conceal 2 katanas behind you and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's no law against me
walk
concealing
down.
it.
You can walk down the street with a katana out of the sheath, like just having it in your
you'll
hand,
probably
which is
get
insane
up
as
on.
well. Like, oh yeah, people are gonna ask you questions, for sure.
probably pull their gun on you.
Yeah,
I see
well,
a man walking towards me with a katana. I am 100% pulling out my gun. What?
oh yeah, but I mean, like,
I mean,
first I'd kind of be curious and be like, I wonder where that guy got that katana.
And then he starts fucking sprinting after you. He's Naruto running after you.
While you were smoking Delta 8, I was studying the blade.
Yeah. I have the art of the ninja warrior.
Die, Chad.
I'm a Power Ranger.
Oh, dude, I miss how into Power Rangers I was when I
Don't
was a
even
kid.
get me started, boy.
I miss
love
it
that
so
shit.
bad. I miss the toys. I miss, like playing Power Rangers with my friends and with my brother and sisters. Like that shit ruled. Power Rangers,
You'll always be a Power Rangers
Digimon.
fan.
Digimon was just what was the last Power Rangers that you kept up with? Do you remember?
I think it was Mystic Force.
Oh wow, okay. Cuz that was
Mystic Force SPD was one of them. I need to pull up a list.
there was I never saw Mystic Force. Like that was by the time that was a big deal, like I didn't have regular TV anymore, so I didn't get to watch those like as they came out. The last one I remember like actually being into and like buying toys for was Ninja Force, I think is what it was called.
Ninja Storm.
Ninja Storm.
You know the Red Ranger
Was
from
it?
that show died?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Mystic Force. My favorite series is it's a tie. It's got to be Time Force, Lightspeed Rescue,
Oh yes.
Lost
The
Galaxy,
Lightspeed
Turbo,
Rescue
or In
movie
Space.
was so good.
Lightspeed Rescue is phenomenal.
For me, it was a toss-up between, Time Force, Lightspeed Rescue, and Turbo. Turbo was
kicked ass.
the bomb.
Mhm.
Turbo was the bomb. Oh, it was so cool.
We might be able to get
that, and then like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. I always thought that was cool because the main villain is Ivan Ooze, and my dad's name is Ivan. So it was just funny to me that they like, he comes out of this big purple egg all gooey and gross, and my dad's like, hey.
Well,
I know JDF.
Tommy just let us know he has daddy issues.
Right? Jason David Frank does a lot of family-friendly stuff, but maybe we can get him on.
Jason David Frank,
Tommy
the
Oliver.
one that played Tommy, in the Power Rangers. That I also was like super stoked on.
Yeah.
That the one, like, he went from being the Green Ranger and an evil character to then he was good again, and then he turned into the White Ranger.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah.
Then he was the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
And then he was the Black Ranger in fucking Dino Thunder. They did a whole reunion episode where he came back like 3 or 4 years ago.
Have you seen what he looks like now?
Yeah, dude, he's fucking tatted up. He's an MMA fighter and stuff now. He is he's big as shit.
Enormous, and he's just completely tatted head to toe.
I love it, dude. He's all about
it's almost like it's like the Joe Rogan version of Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
Have you seen what Steve looks like now?
Yeah, horrible.
He looks like he left the show to pursue a career in music. And he looks like he plays the genre of music that he plays.
Yeah. JDF does a lot of like family-friendly, like religious things. He does look like Moby. So I don't know how we do on the show, but I can talk about getting him on. I'll see if I can fucking send him a DM on Instagram. He responds to his fans all the time.
I would absolutely love that. I would freak out, dude. I would 100% fangirl my ass off if we had him on the show.
I would wear my Power Rangers shirt that I have over there.
That would be the equivalent of wearing the T-shirt for the band you're going to see.
Yes,
if 100%. You'd wore your Power Rangers T-shirt.
100%.
Yeah, if we do that, that's when I'm gonna 3D print myself a Power Rangers helmet to show up on stream with.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Fuck yeah.
If you're watching this, comment who you think we should try and get a guest as, and know also that we probably won't be able to.
You can try.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson will be on next week. Spoiler alert. And after
it's
that,
actually,
tell him.
After that, it's Kevin Hart.
Not Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's
the Boulder.
No, it's a cardboard cutout of Dwayne The Rock Johnson that I got from a screening of Journey to the Center of the Earth 2. I kind of bullshitted you guys on that one.
Oh, well, can we have somebody? Can you cut out like his eyes and his mouth so that we can have someone talking and just like we'll CGI it or something? Do some cool stuff. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll just cut a hole big enough for my dog's mouth to fit through it, and then
I'll be sure to cut this part out before I upload it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fucking hate this show.
So,
huh?
I have some cool questions from Reddit to ask you guys.
Oh no.
What if God came down from heaven one day and said, "It's pronounced Jod," and then left?
Job?
No, Jod, Jod. Not God, but Jod.
I mean,
well, then I'd be right about it being Jif.
This is true.
No, I don't think so. Even then, like, I'll take God's word for how he's supposed to say his name, but no.
That reminds me of people that have like these like generic white girl names, and they're spelled like with a bunch of extra letters.
Like Michaela with a K and H and A-E.
Yeah, it's like, bitch, huh?
Braxlin.
What'd you say, Tommy?
Braxlin.
What the fuck? That's like a southern white girl name.
Yeah, it's so
that's some
weird,
Tennessee
dude.
shit right there.
Yeah, well, hey, fuck off.
Hey,
not to offend anybody, but
you didn't deny
how
it.
To guarantee?
Huh?
See, this is how you guarantee your daughter's gonna be a stripper. Is with names like that.
I drive a truck. I need me a guy who can go mudding with me.
like Candy.
Oof.
If you name your child Candy.
Drives a 2014 Jeep Cherokee that's never seen anything other than a
Never had
parking
an
lot
oil
and a
change.
highway.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Uh,
My daddy
All
washes
right,
my car
so-
for me.
Let's see.
He uses the brush at the car wash.
oh God.
So here's some fun food for thought. What if Earth is like one of those uncontacted tribes in South America? Like the whole galaxy knows we're here, but they've agreed not to contact us until we figure it out for ourselves.
That's because
Prime Directive.
they don't want to talk to a flat planet. That's why.
Yeah, a little weird.
Rats.
I mean, they probably do have something like a Prime Directive.
How do you mean?
Not to contact any. I mean, have any of you
Like-
watched Star Trek?
No.
Barely.
Is it like the idea that like you shouldn't intervene in the affairs of a primitive planet or something along those lines?
Yeah, we're primitive.
basically.
We're prim
Well,
locked.
I would say like we would be I remember last week I believe Alex told me that the term third world country is not good to use, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you didn't know that, like I didn't know that, now you do. You shouldn't say that. But I feel that America or not America, that the Earth is probably like a developing planet in the eyes of the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's like
maybe
they
if we
haven't
got
even
rid of
figured out
Florida.
shortwave teleportation yet.
I mean, that's probably the case. You know,
They
something
still
like
use
that.
currency.
I believe there's aliens out there. 100%.
Oh yeah,
100%.
there
I
has
can't
to
say
be.
I can't say that I believe 100%, but I feel like it's not possible that life on Earth is a coincidence.
100%.
It just happens to be. The
Do we want to
only
get
planet.
into the Fermi paradox here?
I don't know what that is.
Because
I'd
I will
rather
talk-
not.
Sounds like it sounds to me like maybe not.
It's
Okay, all
nerd
right,
shit.
I'll bite.
I won't.
Give me the explanation for this paradox.
I'll
3
give you the
sentences.
elevator pitch.
Yeah, give me the TLDR on this paradox.
Basically, there's a thing called the Great Filter where life has to get beyond a certain point, and the filter tends to filter out most life. So the Fermi paradox is either everything is gone. I can't think of it, but everything's gone to the Great Filter, and we're the only life, or life is so far apart that it's not. That's why they haven't contacted us.
So
You know.
basically, like the longer time goes on, eventually all life that could be out there is going to be destroyed in some way. Like,
Yeah, most
and-
likely
and
will kill themselves.
most life would be over, and we are potentially the last ones that made it through the filter.
Yeah. Yeah, basically either like they're extremely rare because of the Great Filter, you know, or they exist but we have no evidence for whatever reason that they do
So-
exist.
What is the basis that this filter exists? Like
Well,
that's just
I mean,
that's like saying if there was a filter that filtered out life, then we would be the only ones left. Like it predicates on the idea that you have to just believe that there's a giant life filter out there.
it's not like it's a thing that goes around and actively filters out
Oh,
life.
no, I know. It is I guess a metaphorical concept for the idea that
Yeah.
you know life is inevitably doomed.
I mean, there's so many ways for us to end our existence. You know, there's so many ways for our existence to end because
You can go to Walmart.
we fucking teeter on the brink of being alive every day. I mean, we're on a giant rock flying through space with other giant rocks flying right past us. You know, something could
Yeah.
hit us. We have nukes.
Do you ever like are you ever driving and thinking like, holy shit, I'm going 60 miles an hour and basically just a giant shell made of metal. Like,
Yeah.
it's so commonplace. Like, obviously, the cars are so normal for us, but like conceptually and in the history of humanity, even like light bulbs are like pretty new, you know?
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Do you ever just sit there and think like, all we do is go from one air conditioned bubble to the next?
Yeah, I mean that is what happens, but I haven't ever thought of it that way.
That's all you're doing is trying to get to the next air conditioned bubble, one way or another. You walk to your car, air conditioned bubble. You go to work, air conditioned bubble.
What if you're poor?
Well, then you're trying to make money to get to an air conditioned bubble.
Good point.
Or you move north.
Here's a good one.
Before you
George
go on,
Carlin said, "Oh,
you and
go
I
ahead.
are fully vaccinated. That's why we didn't do an
Yes.
episode last week, because we were both
Yes,
fucking on our ass. At least I
correct.
was.
We
I just
were
want to put
just
that out there.
annihilated.
I just thought about that.
Yes.
I just wanted to put that out there. Fucking Monday, I'm officially 2 weeks out, bitch. Just had to put that out there.
I
Tentacles
am
growing
also
in.
fully vaccinated.
Ooh, this
As
is
of-
true.
Technically.
On Saturday, I will be.
Oh,
It's
have
a
you not gotten your
threesome.
second shot yet?
No, I did.
Oh, so
Saturday
you'll
will
at
be 2
full-
weeks.
Okay, so
After the second
technically
shot.
by next week, we potentially could be filming a podcast in the same room.
This is true.
There is a
Now-
possibility.
We have absolutely zero infrastructure to make that happen, but technically, if we wanted to, we could make that happen.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Fuck around and
Stay
find out.
tuned.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still like after. Oh yeah, that's one kind of. I don't know if it's a cool thing or not. It's a thing that happened this week that the CDC has now said that if you are fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask in public. And I feel like that was too soon. And I'm not, no expert again. But like I'm still to the point where like I'm fully vaccinated. I'm not my 2 weeks out yet, so I guess I'm not like fully vaccinated. But when I see other people in the store, I don't assume that they're vaccinated. I assume that they're an asshole.
Yep. 100%.
Yep. I
You
don't know
know,
what people think I'm Republican.
So it's like on one hand you wear the mask and people assume you're not vaccinated, or you don't wear the mask and people assume you're an anti-masker.
Yeah.
You know, like it's so frustrating.
Oh.
I have so my comfort level as to whether or not I'm willing to go in public without a mask comes down to the comfort level of the people I'm around on a regular basis who are around people who are at risk on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
people that I'm around most of the time are either fully vaccinated or well, yeah, they're fully vaccinated and they're like my age, you know. So it's not I'm not interacting with someone who's very old who could really like fucking die from this shit. So I'm like I don't know, like there's no benchmark to say okay at this point is when I'm willing to go out in public without a mask because I know I'm not going to be causing anybody any harm. So I have to go based on like my friends' families being able to get the vaccine and them being
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm willing to go out in public with a vaccine or without a mask anymore. It's like, okay, if you're willing to do it, then I feel like I qualify there too.
Can I bring up something fun in that regard? So I don't know how many of you know like QAnon and all that shit. But there's basically now QAnon is spewing conspiracy theories that people who are vaccinated will somehow give like secondhand vaccination to people that aren't vaccinated.
They are just
But
dumb.
QAnon is telling people to wear masks so they don't get secondhand vaccination. So the dichotomy is going to switch between vaccinated people not wearing masks and unvaccinated people wearing masks. Not because they know it's the smart thing to do if they don't have a vaccine, but because they're worried
Because
they'll get
they
the
are worried they
vaccine
will get the vaccine. Could
from
you
being
imagine?
in proximity.
Oh my god, could you imagine being so fucking dumb that you start wearing a mask to avoid catching the vaccine?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can imagine
Could you
that.
imagine
Yeah.
being so fucking dumb you live an entire year through a pandemic refusing to wear a mask because it infringes on your fucking personal rights or whatever, some bullshit. And
I can't breathe.
then
Suck it up.
some dickhead, some fucking neckbeard posts on a conspiracy theory that the vaccine is going to travel through the air and you're going to catch the vaccine from vaccinated people and then that's going to somehow cause you problems.
Yeah, dude, I get my information on science from Redditors on Reddit. So I'm right, you're wrong. 30,000
Oh my
karma, he
God.
wouldn't lie to me.
Ah, dude, I just so this is a good segue into the next question I had, which was George Carlin said, "Think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize that half the people in the world are stupider than that." What
Okay.
real life example have you seen that validates this view? That's it.
This is
That's
gonna.
the mic drop right there. That is the
I have an
QAnon
answer.
convincing conservatives that they could catch the virus so that they should wear a mask to avoid catching, or that they could catch the vaccine so they wear a mask to avoid catching the vaccine.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick
And the
with that as my answer.
fun part about that is they'll never be able to take it off, will they? Unless they just are willing to get the vaccine.
True. There's somebody I know, and I'm gonna refuse from saying who it is in case they come
Yeah.
across this.
A buddy.
They're a family
perhaps.
member of mine. Very close family member. They are full anti-mask, full Trump train away. They don't believe in science. If God didn't say it, it ain't real. Type of thing. It's kind of unfortunate because the older I've gotten, the more I've realized how ignorant this specific person is. The less I talk to them, even though they are a close family member of mine. Talk to them maybe once or twice a year, maybe, and it's just, hey, how does this work? Because they're good at specific crafts that I've been looking into. And usually I get a 1 or 2 word response, so I just don't even fuck with it. But if you can be so ignorant and just, this is gonna sound bad, blindly driven by your religion and motivated without reading facts and believing in a book, that you will cut off your family and put all of them at risk, including specific elderly family members that you are very closely related to, at risk for COVID-19 because your reality TV star president told you to, and your God told you to. You are a fucking scumbag. You are one of the worst people on the face of this earth. And you deserve nothing but shit to happen to you. It's sad how blind these people are and how ignorant they are. I don't wish harm among this person. I don't wish death among them. That'd make me a bad person. I already know I'm a bad person, but I'm not wishing death upon them. It's a high level of ignorance, you know? Something that just, if you know anything about anything, it wouldn't matter to you. It's dumb. I'll tell you guys who I'm talking about after so that it's less confusing. But it's sad how ignorant people are.
Dude, on that same token, so I want to tell you guys a story that I heard recently. So there's this lady who she's a single mom, and she basically she raises her kid by herself, and she is like strong fundamentalist Christian. Like she watches all the televangelism and everything. And one day, apparently, this woman like gets a message from God, right? Message from God that says, "I need to test your faith. You have to kill your son." These are her words. She says that God told her that you have to murder your son to prove your loyalty to me because your son is corrupted by sin. So she
Wait a
fucking
second.
and then
This
so
is
she
in the
fucking
Bible.
so she Yeah, this is the story of Abraham and Isaac. And basically what I was trying to say was like they teach this in church as praise to Abraham, who basically was willing to take his son Isaac up to the top of the mountain and sacrifice him to prove his love for God. Now, I'm fairly certain Abraham was in his 90s when Isaac was born. According to the timelines in the Bible, like the reason that it was a big deal that Abraham and his wife had a child is because his wife and him were both so old that the fact that they conceived was completely ridiculous. So it was a miracle. And so that means that he is between 90 and 100 years old, right? And this guy says, yeah, God told me I should probably go kill Isaac. And he gets up there and is ready to plunge the knife in, and then just goes, psych. And then churches say, yeah, and Abraham had such amazing faith, and not, yeah, and Abraham had such amazing paranoid schizophrenia. like
God
if
is
that
just a
happened
prankster.
today, if that happened today, that person would be thrown in a mental institution or prison for attempting to murder a
Absolutely.
child because God told them to. And they tell this story like it's a good thing that Abraham did this. Like, I never realized what that meant for a child in that setting, learning that story. Like, I'm really glad I never had the thought of, oh, I wonder if my dad would kill me because God told him to.
What the fuck?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh man. I mean, it's just a great, like the frame that they put that story in is crazy to me. I don't know. I've been watching The Binding of Isaac on YouTube. I've been watching people stream The Binding of Isaac Repentance on YouTube, and it's great and it's awesome, but it bases the story I was telling is basically the story of the game where his mom tries to kill him. And I was like, wow, it really is the exact same thing, but it sounds so much more screwed up from the point of view of a crazy mom watching televangelists and not, the father of Israel at 90 years old taking his son up to the mountain to stab him.
Yep. Tommy. So feel free to veto this one, guys, but I like that minute mystery we did last podcast.
Yeah,
All
let's do
right,
one.
word. All right, let's do it. Okay. So, let's see. So there is a car on the beach and a set of tracks leading up to the car.
Mm-hmm.
There's one person in the car, and that person is dead. How did this happen?
Are they animal
Are they in
tracks?
the
What
driver's
events?
seat?
What events led up to this circumstance?
Are they animal tracks?
No.
Are they tire tracks?
Yes.
Okay. Are they the tire tracks of the car that the body was found in?
No.
No.
Are they
Was
tire
the car
tracks?
towed?
No.
Are they tire tracks from an ATV?
No.
Was the person killed in that location?
Yes.
Or did the person... So the person was killed?
Yes.
Okay. Were they in the driver's seat or the passenger seat?
You can ask yes or no questions.
Were they in the driver's seat when they were found?
Yes.
Were they killed in the driver's seat?
Yes.
Did the car belong to that person?
Yes.
Okay.
Did that die
Sorry, Robbie.
because of the car?
No.
Did they get into a car accident?
Yes.
Was it the airbag that
Did
killed
they-
them?
No.
Did they die because of the car accident?
Yes.
Or was the car accident caused because they were killed?
No.
Did they have a heart attack?
No. So they died because of the car accident, but you're gonna have to read further into it to find out
I'm
why.
trying.
So did someone cause this car accident to happen?
You mean intentionally?
Yes.
No.
Were they in a
No.
Tesla?
So
No. Well, they could have been, but if you're wondering about like the
Autopilot?
autopilot,
Yeah.
yeah, autopilot does it. This would have happened whether they had autopilot or not.
Shit.
was it because of the
Well,
GPS?
no, they weren't in a Tesla. Sorry.
Was
What'd
it
you say?
because of the GPS?
No.
Is the person who was the person who died driving at the time?
No.
No.
There is at the beginning of there is a parked car in the sand. Sorry.
Were they hit?
No.
They hit something.
Yes.
Is this a public beach?
There was no one else around when this happened.
Is the beach on an island?
No, so I will give you this hint in that the beach is only relevant because you can see the tracks leading up to the car.
Okay, that's all that matters.
They are in the sand is the main important part of the fact that they're on a beach. But you don't need to read into the beach.
I forget if I asked this already. Is the car in the place it was when it had the accident that caused the
No.
person to die?
Nope.
So the car was moved
Yes.
after the death?
No.
No.
Did the
So
driver
the
kill the
person
passenger?
initially.
What's that?
Did the driver kill the passenger?
The dead man's in is in the driver's seat.
But you said he
so-
wasn't in the driver's seat
right.
when he died.
No, I didn't. You asked if he was in the driver's seat when he was found.
Oh, was he in the driver's seat when he died?
Yes.
Were the brake lines cut?
No.
Is there something to do with the tide?
No.
Okay,
Like
oh
you
yeah,
said,
beach doesn't matter.
Beach isn't relevant.
Is water relevant?
No.
The proximity to water. Okay.
Mm-mm. Like I said, the only thing about the location of the car now is that they were in the sand because you can see the tracks that lead up to the car.
Was the person killed on purpose?
Yes.
Yes. So, like, in a court of law, it would be first degree murder.
Certainly.
Was it a drive-by?
Okay.
No.
Was a lifeguard involved?
No.
Or should I keep thinking about the beach?
So it's a murder. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Murder mystery.
Most of them are.
Wasn't suicide, was it?
No.
No, he was murdered. Or was it a he or was it a he?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
You murder yourself.
We can say for the sake of just this scenario, it was a man, but like the fact that he's a man doesn't make a difference.
Look at you being all such a feminist.
Well, I'm just saying like the fact that he was a man didn't have anything to do with why he was killed.
I know.
Were they texting
Oh, this.
and
No.
fucking piss someone off? Like road rage?
Not exactly. They were not texting.
Well, so they
Well-
died because of the car accident.
That led into
They
my
were what you know currently is that they were killed because of the car accident.
So was it a road rage incident?
No.
Did they hit somebody else?
Yes.
Did they hit somebody else on purpose?
No.
So they hit somebody and then that person killed them.
Yes.
Did they hit another car?
Yes.
Okay.
Did they hit a
Were
cop
they
car?
killed by the?
What'd you say?
Did they hit a cop car?
No.
Oh. Did the driver of the other car kill them?
A person in the other car killed them, but it doesn't matter whether or not it was the driver specifically. Like if there was more than one person in the car, in that car, any one of those people could have eventually ended up being the person that killed this person. Doesn't necessarily matter that the other person was driving.
My mind keeps going to a drive-by.
Mm-mm.
Was
So
I mean,
they-
there
was
is
this-
you could potentially make an argument for it being a drive-by,
was
but
this a
not
scene from
really.
a movie?
No.
Were they killed by a gun?
Yes.
Okay, they were shot. Were they shot on? They were shot on purpose.
They were shot on purpose. This could have been done with a knife.
It was a carjacking.
No. No, but the fact that they were shot or stabbed like doesn't make a huge difference. I guess a gun is probably the easiest way for it to have gone down, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a gun. The
So they
weapon wasn't
hit-
important.
Okay, so they hit somebody. They hit a car. Somebody in that car killed them
Yes.
and then drove off.
No.
So the other car is still there?
No. There's a very huge key part of this that you guys are missing in this vein.
It has to do with the tracks, because we know the tracks aren't the car of the murder victim.
Correct.
And they are tire tracks?
They are tire tracks, yes.
Are they car tire tracks?
No.
Are they trailer tire tracks?
No.
Are they
Tractor?
tank tire tracks?
No. No and no.
So what are we missing about the tire tracks?
Did the
'Cause we're,
tire
like, right
tracks
there.
start on the road and end up in the sand? Like the other car veered off? And,
No.
like, spun out and shit?
I mean, like you could technically follow the tracks that are leading up to the car that the dead person is in. You could follow them back to the pavement, but it's not like
There's no like
they
actual trail.
they steered where they were going on purpose. It was not like they accidentally ended up there. So the tracks are a major part of this, which will, like, if you can figure out what kind of tracks they are, you might be able to figure out the whole rest of it. But there's one other part of this about the setting
Are
that
they-
you guys are missing.
Are they tracks from a semi truck?
No,
Fuck.
Are they tracks from an ambulance?
no,
A fire truck?
no. There's one thing about every single one of these things you guys have asked about the tracks that is what is making them not the case.
Were the tracks already there?
No,
Are they a motorized vehicle?
not necessarily.
Are they a bicycle?
No, but you're closer with a bicycle than you were with cars.
Motorcycle?
No,
Is it? Oh, fuck.
Is it an Amish drive-by? Horse and buggy?
no, but that is closer than a car is. As weird as that sounds.
Was it a scooter?
They're not horse tracks, are they?
No, they're tire tracks.
Wasn't a scooter? Like a motorized
No.
scooter moped?
It is not a motorized vehicle, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a motorized vehicle. It could or could not have a motor.
A skateboard?
No, but that's closer to.
Could or could not have a motor, like a Prius, like a hybrid type vehicle.
Mm,
Maybe.
no, those still have motors, bud.
Yeah, but hybrid could or could not. I would think.
Well,
No,
no, a
no, it's
hybrid
not that.
implies that it's a hybrid mix of a motor and
It's got
electric.
both.
Yeah, one or
No,
the
so
other.
no, it's not that. I will
So
give
what is
you
that?
it is not a car at all in any way, shape, or form.
It's not a car. It's not a bike. It's not a skateboard. Is it a
I would say
Segway?
no. I would say that almost everything that you guys have mentioned as what could have caused the tracks is too fast. Like this thing could not go as fast as any of the things that you guys have mentioned.
Is it a bicycle? Is it a motorized bicycle?
No.
Not a bicycle.
Is it a wheelchair?
But it's something.
It is a wheelchair.
Yes.
So did he hit somebody in a wheel? No, did he park in a handicap spot?
No. Do
You
they
get
put
fucking
handicap
murdered,
spots in the
kid.
sand?
I don't know, maybe.
Was was the driver handicapped
The
or
driver
the fucking
the
one who
guy that was
died?
killed?
Yeah,
No, he was not.
was someone in the other car handicapped? The one that killed them.
No. Well, wait, say that again?
The car that killed the person, was someone in their handicap?
No.
Was a pedestrian in a
It's
wheelchair killed?
no. There's still something huge about the setting that you guys are missing.
So the
Beach?
beach does matter.
The fact the fact that it's the beach only matters because you can see the tracks for the wheelchair, but the location of the vehicle and where it was found definitely matters. Like the fact that it is where it is and is not somewhere else.
It's not on the road. This is
You
a
guys
tough
got
one.
this.
Did it happen in
You guys are
Hawaii?
really close, but there's like a huge piece of the puzzle that will probably get it to where you guys can figure it out.
Did it happen in Hawaii?
No. And that, like I said, the fact that it is specifically a beach doesn't make a huge difference.
Did the car drive off the road and hit a parked car?
No. But a similar situation could have led somebody to hit a parked car as what led this situation to happen.
Did the car veer out of the way of somebody who was in a wheelchair and end up crashing? And
No.
something. Okay.
Was the person intoxicated when they crashed?
Yes.
They were drunk?
They were drunk. Yes.
So then, were they leaving a party?
It doesn't really matter where they were leaving from. A bar or a party, somewhere where they had been drinking heavily. God, you guys are this far away from it, but I'm gonna give you one more hint, and this might be what does the job. Um, the car that the man was found in was not found in the spot that the car was in after the wreck.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, we knew that.
And if the person in the driver's seat was not dead, you could drive that car away. There's nothing mechanically wrong with the car.
But they hit another car.
Mm-hmm.
Did they rear end it?
No. Maybe. It doesn't necessarily matter like how they hit the other car.
So it was a
But
low speed collision.
no. Not necessarily.
But how could there be nothing wrong with the car if it wasn't low speed? And they hit something. Did they hit something soft?
Um, well, no, I guess you would have to say it is a low speed collision. In order for this to make sense, it would have to be a relatively low speed collision. It was low speed enough that that car could drive away after the accident.
I think I get it.
Was the
What?
person in the car the only one in there to begin with that was dead?
Yeah, they were by themselves.
So I think I have at least close enough. They were killed by somebody and then they were wheeled in the wheelchair to the car as a dead body, like a Weekend at Bernie's style thing, and placed in the car after they were killed.
That's a very good guess, but no. That's more complicated than the actual answer.
And the wheelchair tracks are relevant to this.
Absolutely. They are one of the most relevant parts. Like the fact that the person or that the wheelchair tracks are wheelchair tracks is probably like the most important part. This and the other thing that you guys aren't getting are the most important parts.
Did the wheelchair belong to the dead person?
No.
Did it belong to the driver of the other vehicle?
Yes.
But they weren't handicapped.
No. Not at the time of the accident.
Then why did they have a wheelchair?
This right here is like it's like on the tip of you guys' tongues.
Were they injured in the accident and then put in a wheelchair?
Yes.
So it was a revenge murder.
Yes.
So the person but they weren't killed in the car at the time. They were placed in the car after their death.
No. They were killed in the car. They were not killed by the crash, is what I was saying before.
Okay. So I guess they hit somebody, made him disabled, and then the guy found the car, wheeled down, and shot him while he was in the car, and then left.
Pretty much. The major thing, so that's it. That's pretty much what happened. The major thing that you guys did not get is that it was a hit and run. So a drunk driver hit this other car and paralyzed the driver in a hit and run collision. And after the driver of the other car had healed, he realized that the car that had hit him,
You just said the wheelchair
was
didn't
parked.
belong to him, though.
The wheelchair didn't belong
the
to the
time.
dead guy.
No, I was asking about the driver of the other car.
At the time of the crash.
At the time of the
didn't.
crash, he didn't own a wheelchair.
No,
He wasn't paralyzed
The-
until after he got hit.
the driver that killed the other guy. I was asking if the wheelchair belonged to him.
No, I did not understand that as your
Yeah.
question. I thought you were asking me
Also,
if
I
the
brought up
wheelchair
a hit and
belonged.
run.
I thought you were asking if the wheelchair belonged to the dead person.
Yeah, I asked both of those.
Yeah. Say again?
Also,
Alex?
I did mention it was a hit and run earlier.
Did you?
Yeah.
I must not have heard you. But yeah, it
Yeah,
was a hit and
because I
run
said the
crash.
car wasn't there anymore, and I said, "Oh, so it was a hit and run." Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, then yeah, then you had that way earlier on.
All
And I apologize.
stuffed.
But the major thing is that the day of the crash and the day that this man were murdered were several months apart. Because the
Gotcha.
person in the wheelchair would have had to go to the hospital and get a wheelchair and have healed before they could wheel up to the side of the car and shoot the person in the driver's seat.
Gotcha.
I feel like there's something that's telling me right now that that was not nearly as satisfying for you guys as the last one
It was
was.
too much work.
Not enough information.
A little too complicated.
All right, next week I'll make sure that we have one that is less extrapolating, less moving parts.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we
Well-
talked about all the stuff, guys.
Yep. We're an hour in and an hour out.
Right on.
A
Thank
little
you
bit of
guys
the
so
old
much
in and out.
for watching this episode where we talked about guns and masks and the lack thereof
And murder.
and murder.
And did
Good
not
shit.
talk about shit the entire episode.
Yeah, we did not make one poop joke the whole way through. That was for you guys that
That's
had to endure
shitty.
the last episode we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. We almost made it the whole episode without a shit joke.
Next few weeks we'll have a guest on. Not saying who,
Yes.
but Simpson in the works.
He's got the
Get
feelers
hype.
out.
Get hype.
Hype. All right, episode 24.
I
Bye.